Hey everybody, so it has definitely been a while. I may or may not post this. We'll see how it goes. This is just basically an update on everything that's been pretty much going over the past couple of months. A lot's basically happened. A lot of life stuff and stuff like that. I'll get into it. So, for those of you who don't know, I am 24 and I graduated college like 2 or 3 years ago, 2022. So about 3 years ago at this point, which is kind of insane. And it's been rather interesting, to say the least. And what I mean by that is so people, we go over and we fight to get really good grades so we can go into high school, right? We fight to get into a good college. And then we get into college and we fight to get a good job. Well, it's not always guaranteed. And that is definitely something that's been going on with me. That's why, honestly, I haven't really posted much. It's not that I haven't been working on stuff. I have been working on stuff in the background. In fact, I have started, writing a huge draft. It's like 14 pages already, and I still haven't even gotten halfway through it. And that's going to be the video for SCP-049, and explains everything that I've gotten, every little piece that I'm doing. I'm trying to weave it all together into this big thing. I've never done it before, and it's actually kind of cool. It's kind of like a giant school assignment that our teachers have. But it's on my own time and stuff like that. But one of the reasons why I haven't really posted anything throughout since April is because for the beginning of the springtime, I was trying to find a job. And basically what ended up happening with that was, I have already mentioned that I do gardening. The reason why I graduated is because I got a certificate in greenhouse management. However, I have not been able to find a place that will take my degree, but I have been able to work adjacent to it, which that means that, believe it or not, I work for public gardens, and I've been working for public gardens for the past couple of years. And there's been some work drama with it. Like, I've had some bosses that have literally been horrible. I've had some coworkers that have been horrible, and I've had to go through different public gardens to try and find the place with the least amount of drama. Basically, when I was for my internship, one of my bosses was not the nicest man. He had been in the field for 25 plus years. He was in his 70s, and he treated me like I was the best worker whatsoever for the first couple months. And then after that, basically, he was very super duper uber picky, threatened to tell the school that I was not doing a good job, even though I was, and that, this, that, and the other thing. And then I also had a coworker at a different place. They ended up going over and basically she would talk shit in front of people about them, and I'm not a very confrontational person, so I didn't really say anything. I just made it through the whole entire contract. I could get into details of it. We don't need to deal with that right now, but just suffice it to say, when it comes to the plant field, you can get really, really super duper uber lucky and get a job right away, get a job that you have year round, or you can be like me, who is going from one plant place to another. And the reason for that is because, depending on which spot that you go to, whether it is a nursery or a public gardens, work ebbs and flows. So for instance, for a nursery, they love to have workers usually around January to about July. And that's literally what ended up happening with me. Is I did actually get the job in October. He hired me on the spot, and I made it all the way through until July. And there was some drama there. Honestly, the amount of tea within the plant workplace are insane. I could go into a lot of detail about that one too. That one was weird. But as a result, not my manager who was in charge of me, but a guy that was sort of working with him. That was, like I said, a whole entire drama. He ended up saying that he had to let go people. I was with one of the highest paycheck, and also there really wasn't much work for me during that time of the year, so they let me go. I've made it through, like, when it comes to the public gardens side of things, I've literally made it through the whole entire, like, season and everything like that. Whenever I get my contract, I complete it. I do everything to hustle and do what I need to do to be able to do my job right. But I made a bet on one of the places that I was going to work with because I really loved working there. The coworkers were amazing. My boss was amazing. Basically, the bad guy ended up getting fired. So I ended up working there, and I loved it there. I'd just drive in, and it was like driving in to just a nice, like a hot day, and then you come into like some air conditioning. It was so amazing. But I ended up getting not really let go. They ended up hiring some people instead, so I ended up having to scramble for a job, and that's what ended up happening this spring. Is I was trying to find a job. I did find one, but it was 12 hours, possibly 7 days a week, and I have anxiety-induced insomnia, and to constantly be feeling like I am literally doing nothing but work from morning to night is not something that I can do. And I know people are probably out there thinking that, oh, fever dream, you're stupid for doing that. You should have kept to it. But I knew that I couldn't do it. It was only a matter of time before they would fire me. So I ended up quickly, before saying, hey, I quit, to text the other place that I had, the other public gardens that had the bad coworker, and she had left. So basically, I ended up texting him, and he hired me on the spot again. He was like, heck yes, like I'll send you the paperwork, get the paperwork. And then, like, literally I waited for a couple months there to get a job, like waiting for stuff to happen. And I know I could have done stuff in the meantime during that, but you're waiting and you're waiting, and then you get into a mental funk of like being in between jobs. And I know, like, I could have posted shit. I really could have, but my brain just did not want to do anything. Kind of a little depressed in that sort of situation. And then also not poor me, I ended up meeting a guy, and in the middle of this, and because the whole entire work drama, like, some shit went down, and he and I were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we got into an argument, and I saw things that I did not like, personally, and I felt like I couldn't be doing, we weren't good, we weren't a good match. I ended up noticing that in that fight, so I ended up breaking up with him, and, in the middle of all of that, basically what ended up happening with everything is, after he broke up, we broke up, I broke up with him, what ended up happening was I was still in that mental funk, and I ended up having to, so I ended up, like, messing up my back one time. Maybe I could, like, post a video and just explain, like, all the coworker drama, all of, like, this stuff. I've hurt myself so many times in this job, and it's only been 3 years, but I chose this job. Don't feel bad. Like, this is me just being a whiny bitch. It's not, yeah. I've hurt myself a couple of times, and, as a result, I found that going to the chiropractors, every couple weeks is very handy, because I'm sometimes on my hands and knees all the time. So basically, as a result of all of this, I ended up venting to one of the nurses, and she was like, "Hey, I know somebody who needs some like work on their yard." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And then it ended up turning out that I'm starting to I ended up saying, like, if I couldn't find anything to work, I kept telling people, "Oh, I'm gonna do freelance." Well, I'm starting to do sort of freelance. I have one official client. It's pretty cool. And then I've had like a couple of like short-term clients throughout the summer. And 2 days a week out of my week, I am working my little booty hole off, taking care of like other people's gardens and making sure they're okay. And then I eventually did get the paperwork signed up and taken care of in regards to my public gardens thing. So basically, this summer, like, if I wasn't in like a mental funk, then I finally was working. So I've just and when it comes to the gardening thing, it's a lot of work. It's not as much as some jobs out there, but it's a decent amount. Like you're outside and you're pulling weeds, sometimes like 7 hours a day, and it takes it out of you, but it's a fun thing. The reason why I absolutely love this job, and yes, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's so hard, but after all of that work, you'll be walking by and then you'll see this family and they'll look around and they're like, "Whoa, this place is so cool. It looks so amazing." And it's like the amount of pride that you get from being like, after all of this work that I've done, someone's able to appreciate it. It's pretty cool. So that's why I like doing this kind of field. Also, I don't know what else I would do other than this, honestly. I've been thinking about doing art, and I think I'm going to do that sometime this summer. Oh, summer. Sometime this winter. We'll see. That's my own thing. I'm having to do some side hustles along with everything. So basically, right now, I'm working from spring to fall, and in the winters, I'm pretty much open. So we'll see how everything goes. I'm gonna try and post something. I'm hoping that this Halloween I'll be able to get some good shit. But we'll see. Hope you guys had an amazing day, night, whatever it is. I'm sorry that it is taking so long. It's not that I don't care about this channel. It's just I'm going through life, and it's going good. It's going good. But it's taking some time to do some stuff, and I am working there. So hopefully soon I'll be having some amazing videos for you. So bye.